Fred Knight is hoping he can help convince the jury his longtime friend isn't the cop prosecutors made him out to be. Our chief investigative reporter Jody Barr has been in court following all the developments. He joins us live in Florence. Good morning, Jody. There was a problem in court Friday that delayed this trial.
Yeah, well, there was. The defense expected to finish up here Friday, but a water sewer issue in the city of Florence shut down the courthouse early and ended any chance that the defense hoped to finish up here. Now, Friday morning, the judge issued a ruling. Charles Lemon, he asked for a motion, he filed a motion for a judgment of acquittal. The judge denied that motion because Lemon wanted the judge to find that prosecutors failed to provide evidence of Lemon's guilt. Again, the judge denying that motion as the first order of business here Friday, saying that there's plenty of evidence and testimony for jurors to decide this case. Lemon's side started calling its witnesses. Two of those were character witnesses. One of those was former Marlboro County Sheriff Fred Knight, who worked with Lemon for 17 years at the sheriff's office. Lemon was Knight's chief deputy for 12 of those years, and then Knight became a co-worker of Sheriff Lemon when he took office. Knight told the jury that Charles Lemon was very respectful to people and praised Lemon's work ethic, calling him his right-hand man. Now, the prosecution pounced, pointing out that Knight told SLED and the FBI in an interview after Lemon's arrest that Charles Lemon claimed he was trying to console Jarrell Johnson inside the jail that day, but before Johnson turned to attack the sheriff. The jailhouse video does not show that. Knight, from the witness stand, denied saying that in his statement to investigators, so the prosecutor played that video to the jury. Knight then admitted telling that to the agents investigating the tasing. Neither former sheriff would talk with me about that outside the courthouse Friday. Mr. Knight, did you lie to or try to mislead the FBI instead in your statement you gave them?
Jody, I had no comment.
Well, this is your chance to clear that up before we report what the prosecutor accused you of. Why would they tell you that, those agents tell you that?
Well,
I can't go any further, I would. Mr. Lemon, did you tell Mr. Knight you tried to console Jarrell Johnson? Now, Lemon's use of force expert started his testimony Friday, but again, with the courthouse closing down over this water sewer issue, that testimony was not finished Friday, and we expect it to be finished sometime this morning.
Now, Jody, from the limited testimony we got from Lemon's use of force expert on Friday, was there anything that came out of that to indicate where the defense is heading?
Well, Will, it is exactly what any person thinking about this logically would assume. This expert said exactly the opposite of what the prosecution's SLED expert and the Criminal Justice Academy expert testified here, is that the defense is arguing to this jury that all 6 of those tasing incidents from the beginning to the end, this expert for the defense testified that every single one of those, that Lemon and former Deputy Andrew Cook were legally justified with those tasings, and they will continue working this morning to convince the jury that Charles Lemon and Deputy Cook didn't go too far. There was no civil rights violation, that they were simply trying to get an inmate to comply with commands.
All right, Jody, let's go back to Friday with those water problems. What does this do to the timing of the trial ending?
Well, that was it was discussed late last week. I overheard discussion between the prosecution and defense. The defense hoped that it would finish sometime around lunchtime Friday with its presenting its case. The defense has been very slow in its cross-examination of witnesses. The judge laughed off the defense being able to finish this Friday, so they knew possibly the jury charge would likely not come until late in the day Friday, if at all. But of course, that got pushed back when the courthouse closed Friday. So we're looking at today possibly the defense finishing and maybe closing statements to this jury could start maybe sometime around lunch, after lunch, sometime this afternoon. This is it moves every day. We don't have a solid schedule, but just tune back in, and when I get out of that courthouse, I'll tell you what I know.
That's right. We sure know that will happen. Chief investigative reporter Jody Barr in Florence, South Carolina. Jody, we look forward to hearing from you later on today.